Hi, my name's Peter and I run a business up in Aberdeen. I've seen some videos just lately about people who are a bit like me, getting older, getting grey hairs, and if they're over 50, they're trying to get a job and they're having some difficulties. I'm now 64. I would hate to be going and looking for a job at my age too, but I'm self-employed. But what I'm trying to tell you about today is that I actually employ people over 55. I give everybody a chance, but these guys, they've got maturity, they've got loyalty, and they're damn good workers, and they bring a lot of experience to the job, and they get the job and they excel at the interview. Now, a good thing about your age is some of you may have a pension and get a part-time job, and if you're really good at the job, you'll probably get more hours. I'm not a great believer in 0 hours contract, so I always maybe start someone on a part-time wage, guaranteed 16 hours a week, and then more if they're going to do it. Older people think they're on the scrap heap. Well, you shouldn't be. You've got to go and fight a bit harder to get that job. Let me give an example of how I once employed someone. This chap had been paid off on a Friday. He then phoned my office on a Sunday because I've got a business that answers all the time looking for a job. I called him on the Sunday and asked if he'd like to meet me the next day for a coffee, which we did. Now, what happened during that interview was he mentioned he'd been a soldier, and I had been a soldier. He mentioned his regiment, and I knew that that regiment was a bit like mine because we were both tank soldiers. So that really that was good gain for him. And we spoke about Germany and things and had something in common. Then I asked him a few questions about the industry, and I says, you don't know enough yet, you'd work for another business. I says, you need to learn a bit more, but I'll take you on. And that's what I done. Another chap came to me when he was 55. He'd been a prison officer, and he said to me, Peter, I'm too young to retire. And I remember when I reached that age, I thought, I'm too young to retire. And I took him on. He passed away just 2 years ago at 90. Great guy. Again, I trained him from scratch. And I had another guy who came to me. He was about 55. I took him on as well. And then one that's been with me 4 years now, I think it's 4 years, he came to me when he was age 67, and I took him on. He's still with me, he's age 72 now. So, it doesn't matter your age. If you can keep yourself fit and you can do your job, but I'll tell you what an employer doesn't want. He doesn't want you to be wishy-washy and say, well, I don't know if I can do the hours and I'm going bowling that day. We don't really want, especially if it's a full-time position you've got to be offered. You've got to be able to fit in with the business. And so sometimes I'll put out the job as a part-time business to start with, guaranteed 16 hours a week, and then building up through that. I'm not a great believer in 0 hours contract. I couldn't live like that myself. But you get people that like agencies, right? But they bring maturity. And what I do is I train them from scratch for my industry, which is the pest control industry, pest control business. And I will train them from scratch my ways, not somebody else's ways, so I know what's happening. And touch wood, so far so good, and that's where now people have actually given me a hard time for not employing young people. Well, yes, I have employed young people. They didn't last. I'm afraid their work ethic was terrible. Well, these guys that I've got now, I'll always remember the older guy came in. I said, what have you done, etc. And I sat there and I said, what would you bring to the table for me? And he said, I'll come in for every shift. I said, I like that. Start Monday. So you've got a lot to offer a small business. Other businesses I know, I'll say, who are starting off, I'll say to them, look, you don't run yourself ragged. Go and get a person that is retired, semi-retired, and wants some couple of days work a week. Interview them and give them a job. And if it works out, try and give them more. But if he says, oh, I only really wanted two and you've got so big, get another part-timer and build it up. So you've got two part-timers maybe sharing the same van. That's how I've done it in the past. So what I'm saying to the people is, in my age group, 50 plus, don't give up. People are looking for good, mature employees. Now, I have seen a couple of YouTubes where guys are older and they're on about trying to get a job. Disappointingly, I gave them both the opportunity. I said I would come on and have a chat with you. Never heard a thing. So what I've done is, I've done it myself to give you hope that you may get a job in the future. Do you know, if you was to go and get a heavy goods license yourself and pay for it and go through the course, there's people still looking for heavy goods drivers. Okay? That may be an option. Maybe work for somebody 3 days a week. You might just get that right opportunity that someone goes sick and says, oh, we need a driver. So never give up. Always going out there, knocking in doors. And that's my bet. If anybody wants to get in touch, you know where to get me. Go down at the bottom, write a note, and get in touch with me. And I wish you the best of luck. When you reach that ages of 50 plus, see it as a new venture. See it as a new opportunity to do something else. And one of the things I say to the guys when I'm meeting for a coffee together, why did you come here? Why are you still here? And they've told me I'm not a bad boss, which I like, and they enjoy working and doing their job, and it's given them a sense of purpose. So that's my little bit of tip to keep your job hunting. Wish you the best of luck.